In this video, I'm going to show you how you can route the rhythm track from the RC-600 to just your headphones so the audience can't hear it and you can use it to keep in time. Hey, what's going on? It's JP. If you've never been here before and you want to learn all about music tech and looping, then start now by clicking the subscribe button, hit that bell, and you'll know when the next video is out. Now, this is a question I get all the time. How do I get the rhythm section just as a click track out into my headphones so I can keep in time, but I don't want the audience to hear it? Now, it's something I go in depth with in my RC-600 course, but I'll talk about that in a minute. Now, when talking about outputs, we need to think about three separate things: the actual inputs, like your instruments and your microphones, the rhythm section, and then the loops. Now, if you're not recording the rhythm section to the loops, this is a lot easier. And I've got this track here, which is JP01, and I don't actually use the rhythm section. So I'm gonna set it up. So we're gonna go into rhythm. I can hold my finger down on here and it'll get me into the system. I've got it down as a guide track. And if I give it a click right now, it's armed. And if I click it again, it's playing. Now you should be able to hear that, because that's coming out of the mains, which are here, left and right. Now that's all I want. I just want that click track just in my headphones, and I can hear it in the headphones. I've got the headphones plugged in just here. They're not plugged into my audio interface, they're plugged in directly into the RC-600. So I need to change a couple of things. First of all, I need to stop the rhythm track coming out of the main outputs or the sub outputs or anything like that. So we're gonna go into menu, then we're gonna go to output, and then we're going to go into routing. Now, the first thing is we're going to actually turn off the actual rhythm section. So we're going to turn the rhythm section off for the mains, the subs, and then that's fine. So we're going to go into input/rhythm. And remember, this is output. This is output routing for the inputs and the rhythm, as opposed to the loops. Give this a click and you'll see main and all the different things you can do. So I'm going to scroll across until I get to rhythm and turn it off. Now, if you use the subs, we need to go across and we need to do that to sub 1. I've actually got sub 2 left, and I've also got sub 2 right. And then we go across again. You'll see now you've got phones rhythm on, and we need to hear it through the phones. And then we've got rhythm out is the output, not loop, which means we're not recording the rhythm onto one of the individual loops. Where most people get the confusion is when you go into loop and you look at a track, you go all the way to the end. It shows you on that track what the track can hear. So people go, I don't want that track to listen to the rhythm section, so we scroll across and turn it off. And then you can still hear the rhythm section come out. Now this is all for that track number 1. And then of course we can go into track 2 and turn the rhythm section off, and go into track 3 and turn the rhythm section off. But that is actually for telling the track not to listen to it. All of that for the headphones doesn't matter, because when we go into menu, go to output, routing, input rhythm, and go all the way to the end, you have this option here, which is rhythm out output. If you have it as rhythm out loop, then yes, you need to turn those off, but by default, it's set to rhythm output. So here is the simplest way to set this up. Input through means that we can hear our microphone and guitar and everything going in, and that's fine, that's what we want. So now when we press the rhythm, nothing happens. I can't hear it at all. I can't hear it on the outputs. I can't hear it on the headphones. So what on earth just happened? Now, I've just turned the rhythm back off, and what we need to do is we need to go back where we were to output and routing. And what we need to do is you can have a look at here. It says phones out main. So the headphones is copying what the main can hear, and the main can't hear the rhythm. So if we go back one, we need to actually change this and scroll across to individual. When you do this, when we go back into input and rhythm, click the right button a couple of times and scroll across, and then what you'll see I'll have a brand new option, which is phones. And this time we can actually dictate this. So we can now see the rhythm is on the phones. So now if I tap this, I can hear it. I can actually hear it coming out. I've got a microphone just here. Hopefully you can hear that. But it's not coming out the main, and we can prove that because if we go into enter and we have a look at the mixer, go across, and we can have a look at the out. So if I tap the rhythm, there is nothing coming out here. And then if we go across, you can see the rhythm out and phones out. Now it depends how loud you want it. You can have your rhythm out and a different volume to your phones out. So of course you can have it lower or higher than your loops or your inputs so you can hear that click. And that is all you need to do to hear the rhythm section in headphones, but without sending it out to the main or any of the subs. Now of course you can send it to the subs if you want to, or you can send it to the main. And there's a couple of different options that you can do with the rhythm section. And I go into much deeper information of really clever ways to use the rhythm section to help you record your loops in my my RC-600 course. The Boss RC-600 course has over 55 videos that are not on YouTube, going from the very basics as you take it out the box, right through to some really advanced setups, including things like this, and also MIDI, and lots of other customization as well. Now there's a link in the description box to go and pick up the RC-600 course, and if you put the word subscriber in the checkout, that'll give you 5% off. You can get the course all in one go, or you can spread the cost over 4 monthly payments. Now if that's helped you, give this video a big thumbs up for me, because that really helps me and it helps the channel. And if you want to learn more about the RC-600, have a look at the playlist right here and have a look at the course, and you can learn as much as you want to.